All right, welcome back to all the punters for the world's greatest. That's right, the world's greatest um, watch collection update. That's right. We're only going to be talking about the best watches on the internet. Some incredible timepieces, and this is stuff that I've picked out. This is a highly curated selection here. But the whole point of this program is let me know what you guys think. Leave your vicious, nasty comments below. And here we go. First up. This is quite a surprise. Normally I don't show new watches, and this is actually from Zenith. And this is, I think, this is just a beautiful watch. I think what is this, 13 grand list? Probably you'll be able to get this at a discount. I mean, maybe 10 grand, 11 grand, very, very soon. And this is, again, I'm not a chronometer guy, but this is actually chronograph. Yeah, I get these things mixed up. What do I know about these things? Look, I'm not into the whole stopping function. I'm wearing the Yachtmaster on my wrist. I don't need to know, elapsed, seconds, hours, none of that stuff. But this is incredible. Look at this. You have an annual calendar, right? You got the day of the week. Although it's small, you got on the left, you got the day of the week, the month, the day of the month, and then you got the moon phase. I'm a sucker for moon phase. This has pretty much everything you need. The only problem is, I think it's a little bit, it's all over the place. You have these the date windows. It's kind of all over. It's all over. It's not organized in a clean manner, so it's a little bit messy. But I think it's a beautiful dial. The bracelet looks good. Everything looks good. It's stunning. I don't know if are these hands. Is that pink gold? If it is pink gold, wow, that would be that would be amazing. And of course, you guys see a theme. There's a theme here. We got a theme going on. This is the Universal Geneve, the Tri-Compax. Incredible watch. I've actually been looking to get one of these for a while. I haven't been able to find the right one at the right price. A lot of them, the dials are kind of, they're aged, they're banged up. Personally, I like the 50s models. I like the ones that came out in the 50s. They look a little more, I don't know, I like the number, the hour markers. They look really good to my eye. I guess all the speculators are out there probably hoping that Breitling revives Universal Geneve, and that there's going to be some sort of popularity thing. I don't know. I don't know how. To be honest, I don't know how much. I don't know how much traction that name will have. It's really kind of a very, it's kind of a very, inside baseball type of brand. If you know what I mean, it's kind of like, it's not one of these brand. The brand has been kind of out of circulation for, let's call it 50 years. For all intents and purposes, it's been out of circulation for 50 years. They have some nice models like Pole Router, all that stuff, Pole Router, whatever you want to call it. The Tri-Compax, the ones from the 50s, I think are incredible. But I don't know if they're gonna, if Breitling is gonna, I don't think it's gonna become a smash hit as they think it's gonna be. It's not gonna happen that quick anyway. Okay, next up. But look at this. Which would you rather have? It's a tough choice, no? Okay. Again, look, the goal of this show is to bring you, the stuff that's unusual, stuff that's interesting. And I've never seen a date with look at the surface of that dial. It's a pyramid. It's onyx, but it's kind of shaped like in this little pyramids with these little round diamonds, which I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of interesting. And you know what? The lugs cover, with the pave, the diamonds. I mean, I think it looks amazing actually. Would I wear this watch? You know what? I actually like the lugs. The one thing I'm not crazy about is the little diamonds, the little round diamonds. And also the black doll. I'm not a fan of black dolls. I think it's a kind of, I don't know, maybe if in the 90s I would have been into that type of thing. It's a little, to me, it's not that exciting. I want something which is a little more brighter. Um, and here we go. So we got a theme going on today. We got pairs. We got pairs, right? We got pairs. We got the chronos over here, right? New and old. Well, this is not that new or old. And here we got another day date. This is kind of a basic one. The only thing here is you have the nice dial. It's got this kind of blue dial. I think you'd probably get one of these, like, maybe 12 grand if you really shop around. If some of these guys will claim that, oh, it's a special dial, whatever. It's not that special, believe me. I mean, it's a nice dial, but these things are literally a dime a dozen. But it's a beautiful watch. I think this is one of the best buys out there. Rolex day date, 12 grand. You're getting a gold watch. And by the way, what Rolex can you get today for 12 grand? Think about it. What are you going to get? You're going to get a Datejust. You're going to get, I mean, this was the heavy hitter. Back in the day, up until I don't know, maybe even up into the 2000s, the day date was always that heavy hitter. I mean, this is just it's again, look at the way you could wear this watch. You put it on a strap and it looks stunning. Again, well, this is on a bracelet, right? But when you put this on a strap, I mean, if you put that watch on the right strap, I think it would be amazing. I mean, the gold is just too much. When you do the whole gold bracelet, it's a little too flashy. This is the right look, right? This is, I think it's it's an Italian dealer, right? Of course, this looks like a bespoke suit over there. Nice stitching over there. And yeah, this is, I think the Italians usually wear it on the strap. I think one of the reasons is, as much as they love gold, it's kind of, Europe is not that safe apparently, right? I mean, so they, the leather tones it, the strap tones it down. Now, let's talk about perpetual calendars. This is really interesting. This is interesting. This is the collaboration with the Travis Scott, Cactus Jack, whatever. Again, I never heard this guy's music. I know he's some sort of rapper. Um, listen, I gotta say this is an interesting watch. I mean, this is sort of like, if you're into, I mean, I don't know, that's his motif, I guess. I don't get the whole thing. It's kind of like, it looks kind of derivative, like, these smiley face stuff, whatever. It's but it's interesting. Look at this. Notice all the numbers are in that kind of that font, that kind of hand drawn, whatever, his little scribble, I guess. That's his signature style. Now you can't read the watch. I mean, it's no good for telling time. I mean, it's worthless. But it's an interesting watch, and it's a brown ceramic, right? It's a brown ceramic, and the strap is some sort of like brown khaki, not khaki. It's like a denim type of fabric. Um, I mean, it's original. This is like an original watch. I mean, this is so, you know, I think this is much more interesting than some of those, Marvel, the comic book watches they have, which are like ridiculous. I mean, I think this is actually an interesting watch if you're into it, whatever, And the clasp, we can't show the clasp, but the clasp actually is also interesting. The clasp looks like sort of, one of the clasps that they had back in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, on some of their perpetual calendars on a strap. I mean, it's thought out. I mean, it is. This thing is thought out. Would I buy one? Hell no. But if you're one of these guys that needs to wear like the what is it, the hype beast or whatever? I don't, whatever these kids call it. Now, this guy, it turns out this guy, the owner of this, right? This guy owns a sneaker company, of course. Makes sense, right? I think they're Undefeated or something. I have no idea what this is about. I remember seeing one of their stores. They always had lines outside the store in Santa Monica. I think it was on Main Street. This is going back years back. I don't know if they're still doing that, but it's interesting. I mean, it's like shit. It's an interesting watch. Again, we got the theme going. We got the theme, right? The perpetual calendars, day dates, chronos. You see, there's pairs, um, different ways of doing the same thing from the same brand. And this is the Quantième Perpetual. Is that? I guess that's how they call it. That's the official name. It's their Audemars Piguet Perpetual. I believe this is like from the maybe early 90s, late 80s, mid 90s, maybe. Same guy, same owner, which is interesting because, yeah, you would think he wouldn't be wearing this type of thing. He's more into like hype stuff. And I came very close to buying one of these. I think I even saw this model for sale. I mean, there's not that many like this with this. Look at the texture on the dial. I mean, it's pretty cool. And these were like 10 grand, 8 grand, not even 10, like 8 grand. I know every 5 years. Okay, right. But it was 8 grand 5 years ago. And I was looking at perpetuals, and this was one of the cheapest perpetual calendars compared to everything else out there. The APs like this were about 8 grand. The Patek 3940s were 40 to 50 grand. I was like, wow, how can this thing be so cheap? And I just couldn't find the right one. I was looking for the one which had the right clasp. I wanted the deployant with, and actually the one I was interested in was the deployant that had like this style. And I made offers, I missed a few, and I didn't get them, and then the price, the market got away from me. Now these are like 18, 20 grand for the gold ones. I don't even know what they want for the platinum. But it's a pretty interesting watch. I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. So we got the theme, annual calendar. And this watch, actually, I have a video of me wearing this watch at the Miami Beach show. So this exact watch, if you notice, right where the crown is, there's some scratches. It's got a lot of scratches on this bezel. And this is the problem with this bezel. It's very wide. You got a lot of surface. It's smooth. It's a mirror polish. So this thing can get scratched up. And I had this in the rose gold with the baguette diamonds. Again, if you look on the channel, I have a video with that watch. That was one of my first videos. I didn't like it, didn't quite fit. And this one is actually pretty interesting. The white gold, I think, tones it down a lot. It makes it much more versatile. The one thing I didn't really care for, the 24-hour indicator, it doesn't do anything for me, the 24-hour thing. I mean, if it was a calendar, it would be amazing. If you had a 31-day calendar, if this was like I don't know why they didn't do that. But this is a pretty cool watch as like a beater watch because it's already beaten up. It's like a high-end beater. I think this is Menta watches. So I think they were asking like, I don't know, 48. The right price for this is 40 grand. I mean, I would not pay a penny over 40 grand for this watch. Okay. And I think it's probably going to go lower even. But again, the condition, the thing is beaten up. It comes with everything, but it's beaten up. Again, we got the theme. We got the Patek blue dial theme. And this thing is cool. You got the white gold mesh bracelet. Again, the problem with these is if they're not the exact, they don't fit you right, you're kind of screwed because they're you either have to cut it or you're basically stuck. So it only works if you're the right size for that. And I think that's probably why these things were never that popular. But look at this. I mean, wow. So you have the diamonds all around. There's a couple of variations of this ellipse, right? There's a couple of different variations of this. And I think this is actually interesting. You get these Pavé diamonds, right, all around. The blue sunburst with the white gold. And I think diamonds look great with blue dials. White gold, blue dials, that's the way to go. If this had the Piguet diamonds, it would be a killer watch. I mean, the rose gold with the diamonds, the 5396R, it just doesn't do because I think, diamonds, the blue, the rose gold, it just somehow the combination doesn't work. But with blue and white, amazing, amazing. And we get the Patek theme rolling. Another, this is, I guess, I'm not sure what the formal, I think it's called the gondola, right? The square, the rectangle shape. So this is interesting. This is, I believe, like a 70s, late 70s, early 80s, maybe. Onyx dial. And again, I'm not a fan of the onyx. And, I have this watch in, I'm not sure I think it's a slightly different model, but, without, I mean, it's the same basic idea, just a smooth, like a tank, like a Cartier tank style case. And you could probably get one of these. I'm saying $8,000. I mean, it could be less, but stone dolls. Everybody's like making a whole big deal out of stone dolls. I don't really think it's a big deal. And onyx, I don't think is that interesting. But it's an interesting watch. I'm just showing. I mean, I wouldn't buy this. It's not my taste, but it's just an interesting kind of, contrast now. And of course, look, since we're doing the Patek thing, we got the Tiffany. Everybody's making a big deal. Oh, excuse me. No, Gubelin, not Tiffany, Gubelin. I mean, that makes a huge difference. If it was a Tiffany, it would be a lot more, right? So this is the 3700. Just showing because it's interesting. Gubelin, always interesting to see another marked up, but no big deal, whatever. These things are kind of a dime a dozen, really. But the reason I'm showing it is because, again, we got a theme going today. So you have the 3700, and here you have like a piece unique. I mean, literally. I mean, this is a customized, and this is like, this is, you really need to be super confident and have money to burn if you're going to do one of these. Because again, this is a customized. I mean, they take your 5711. They basically just, I mean, it's unrecognizable. So you have, I think this is a carbon fiber bezel. You got a skeletonized dial, carbon fiber bezel. I think this is probably, I mean, these probably would go for over $100,000. I mean, again, it's it's really, it's almost like I don't know what you make of it because it's not like these guys are putting aftermarket diamonds. It's not like some garbage. These are serious guys. Artisan de Genève. They're like very serious. I mean, they're basically making a whole new watch using the platform. It's sort of like, the guys who modify the cars, but they do it at a very high level. Like, trying to think again. I remember not AMG, but it was like those tuners, like not even Brabus, but maybe like a Brabus or what's the other guy? There's a whole bunch of those guys. You know what I'm talking about. You guys are into cars, but some of those are actually the wrong guy will make the car worth less, but some of those will actually really be very unique, and increase the value. So this is one of those. It's kind of very special for the right guy. I mean, would I wear this? Hell no. And again, we got the skeleton theme going, so we got themes. And the contrast here is this. What is this? It's an evolution, right? The Bulgari Octo Finissimo. It's Gerald Genta, right? Same guy, Gerald Genta, right? And he designed that case and the whole thing, the bracelet, and it's a takeoff. Look, it's basically like a modern version of. It's a cross between like the Royal Oak. It's a cross between the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. That's what this is. I mean, you can see it, right? It's sort of like the Nautilus. I mean, I don't know. It really is a cross. It's sort of like if the Royal Oak and the Nautilus had a baby. it would be the Octo Finissimo. And the baby like grew up in Texas where it ate a lot of like that food that they feed him in Texas. Everybody in Texas is huge. I mean, they're all like pushing 7 feet. They're huge people in Texas. Must be from like meat with steroids or whatever it is that's in the water, maybe. But they're huge people, so they can't wear. A Texan can't wear a 3800. They can't even pull this off. They got to get one of these Octo Finissimos. What I find interesting about this is, it's one of, I guess, Genta's, last designs. And, this is kind of the evolution of his thinking. So to me, that's the interesting part. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about how well this will age. It's a little bit, I don't know, overproduced, like, some of these watches, they're just, they do too much. The beautiful thing about the Royal Oak, it's like it's stripped down just to the essentials. I mean, you have beauty, you have things, you have the gesture, you have things that are not necessary. Obviously, it's form doesn't follow function, but it's just here again, it is minimalist, but like I don't know, around that whole stepped up octagon thing going on around between the lugs and the case. It's kind of like a spider. Or I'm not sure what to make of it. I don't know. What do you guys think of this watch? And by the way, I've seen these in rose gold, and it's stunning. If you have a big wrist, I think if you have a big wrist, you could do it. You got to have like a huge wrist. You got to be like a Texan to wear this watch, and I would wear it in rose gold. I think these other colors are kind of dull. I'm just showing it because it's just, again, we got the theme, the evolution, Genta evolution, right? He went from Nautilus to this. Well, actually, no. Let's go back. So no, we can actually look. This is kind of like a bastardized Genta, right? I think, did he do the ellipse? I don't think he did. I think it was somebody else, but it was inspired by him, and he did vary. All these guys are very incestuous. I mean, like they all copied each other. It was very incestuous. But there we go. Okay, so this is based on the Genta. I mean, the DNA is Genta DNA. I mean, it's like 8-10 generations down. It's sort of like the great grandson who's on drugs, on acid or whatever. But you see this evolution, right, between this Royal Oak. You see we go from the Royal Oak to the I mean, this is kind of a little bit Genta, and then we go to the Nautilus. Again, I think Genta would love this actually. This Artisan de Genève. And then we go to this, and that is it, my friends. Okay. Let me know what you punters think. Leave your vicious and nasty comments below. Make sure you click the like and subscribe button. And we're going to have some more interesting content later in the week. And of course, we're going to have the Watch Community Awards. That's right. We're going to have, very special live stream. It's like the Academy Awards for, we have nominees like Archie Luxury, Timepiece Gentleman, Tim Masso. Actually, that was supposed to be last Sunday, but we're going to have it later this week. It's going to be very exciting, so make sure you join that. That will be announced. Make sure you get the notifications from this channel. Thank you for joining. We'll see you all on the next one.